Heard it on the radio. I gotta do some fine tuning here real quick. All right, let's go live in about 30 seconds. Delicious. Boom, boom. All right, let's play some music for like 20 seconds and piss off Facebook. Because you can't play music on Facebook, no. It's Glenn Burtnick, Burtnick. I think he's in the band Styx right now. He's like, you know, because half the guys in Styx have left or have passed away. But I think Glenn, last time I checked into him, he was in the band Styx touring with him, you know, because he's a singer, songwriter, keyboardist, guitarist. But yeah, this is like the 80s. This song is like the 80s. Just killer pop rock, like Honeymoon Suite and all those great melodic hard rock songs. Boom, Glenn Burtnick. So, all right, Corey Draper, what's happening? Okay, I'm live on my Facebook, and I'm live on all my other feeds. So anyway, good morning, or it's actually noon in Europe right now. So, hey, what's going on there? Hello, what's going on in Europe? I don't know how to speak in my English tone, but how about I drink a little bit of coffee with my pinky out to make me look, how's that look? Does that look more manly? Damn, that coffee's good. What's going on, my Asian friends? I never knew that I would know so many people in Malaysia to China's to Vietnam. It's just mind-blowing, but I got 2 inbox messages from my friends, and they're like, have a good night. And it's almost their night already. So whenever I do these live meetings, you know, because right now it's like 3 in the morning where I'm at, and I'm wide awake. And I get excited to go live on Facebook and chat and stuff, and then I'm cranking music from Glenn Burtnick in the background, and it doesn't help that I have the best coffee. It's hazelnut, but I put honey in it too. And I don't know if you can see on my webcam, you can see the outside of my cup. It's light bright brown. That's how much creamer I put in my coffee. All right. Hey, on this training session, I want to share my screen because I want to talk to you how if you're going to post on Facebook or YouTube or no matter what, you've got to get pissed off and put something on, or maybe you want to share your cousin's birthday party or your kids' graduation. You know, you'll get all these things that are no-brainers that you want to post about. And who I'm talking to right now is basically people that obviously they want to make money online, okay? And the way that I do it is I post about all fun stuff, crazy stuff. I like to post about stuff that has more mass appeal. So someone that's never met me before that likes heavy metal, they might want to follow me. Just like all my friends that I've grown up in Santa Barbara, Salt Lake City. I've been in some really cool jobs. Like I've owned nightclubs. I've ran radio stations. I've been on the air as a maniac. I own Pure Rock Radio right now. So free plug, purerockradio.com. Download the app if you like hair band and heavy metal music like what I'm playing in the background. I think you guys will enjoy it. But with the jobs that I've had, I think that has more broad appeal than like just posting about, you know, what your family's doing and stuff like that. Because eventually, if you do want to get more people on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you've got to have more wide appeal. That's why when you go to Denny's, you've got chocolate shakes. You have scrambled eggs with warm melted cheese and ham. And someone can't have dairy products, but you know what? They have cereal, oatmeal. You know, that's broad appeal. Boy, you go to Denny's, their menu's like this thick. Or if you go to In-N-Out Burger, you know, it's delicious. And they have like, you know, basically hamburgers, fries, and drinks. That's all they specialize in. Bam. They are right down the highway 100 miles an hour, and they don't need to have more mass appeal because they've perfected one thing, and that's hamburgers, fries, drinks. Talk about Americana. There's nothing more American than In-N-Out Burger. So everyone in Asian countries and I guess, London's and all, if you guys have In-N-Out Burger, you guys know what they do, or you can just go on the website and you can see. Very successful franchise, mind blowing. You go there, there's an hour wait sometimes in the drive-through. I mean, it's just what a great success story. But when it comes down to just getting more traffic or more eyeballs to look at either what you post or maybe what you have to sell, all it is eyeballs. You're getting people's attention to look at something. That's all marketing is online, and especially what I do. I'm not going to overcomplicate it where you got to go study design. You got to go to all these fancy colleges, and then you got to go to New York because they have the best design this, and Chicago and Los Angeles on Rodeo Drive. There's all forms of marketing out there. There's so many, I could even make probably a 5-hour video about marketing. But when it comes to how I market, I want to do it for cheap, relatively almost free, because number one, if I screw up or if I'm not that interesting, I painfully know right away because no one interacts, no one cares. So whatever I'm posting, it's just not that interesting. It's like, well, whatever, everyone else is doing that. Oh, let's badmouth Trump, or if somebody dies, obviously everybody kind of posts about, oh my God, Rick Ocasek died, Eddie Money died, Tony, the lead singer of TNT, died. My gosh, there's no-brainer stuff that you post about. But if you do want to make money online the way that I do, is I like to do a business that I'm already doing and I enjoy it, and that's Facebook and YouTube. And boy, I'll tell you, if I can make some money by posting just fun things anyway, that's what I want to do. And I know you guys can do it, because if you're watching my live feeds on Facebook right now, or my other feeds in Europe and China, or Asian countries, let's put it that way, because there's a big old Asian countries over there. But if you're kind of watching me right now, it means you're kind of cool, man. It's like, hey, I like social media. I love watching live feeds like this knucklehead with his poncho on from 35 years ago, and he's got his big shiny head and his glasses on his head. But there's so much entertainment on social media. It's mind-blowing. And if there's content being produced, it'd be kind of nice to be paid for it. And especially like if you're a musician and if it gets downloaded illegally on YouTube, God, there goes that 2 years it took to write and produce the best album in the world you could do. And it just seems like all of a sudden it's just uploaded for free. So you just got to hit the roads to clubs that you don't even want to play at. The money's tiny. You're going to be away from your friends and family. I got several friends trying to make it in the music business now. Very tough. You can get CDs and production pretty relatively affordable now. My radio partner, Johnny, man, he's just an expert musician. He can sing, and he's got a studio at home that he could just make badass music. And that's the good part about being to produce things like either music, or maybe you can just produce interesting things by talking to people about your passion. What did I do today? What did I see? But if you want to make money online, you've got to have more broad appeal, like a Denny's restaurant. In my opinion, I'm definitely not an expert, but I just think if you can get someone that loves heavy metal and someone that likes Hot Wheels, someone that maybe collects Legos, maybe you talk about life from what you've learned over your 50, almost 3 years. But that's what's so refreshing and relaxing and therapeutic and fun, and brings you pissed offness and sadness and other stuff that end in NES. But when it comes to social media, it's mind-blowing. But if you're going to be on it and you want to make money doing it, there is a way. And there is no sales. There is nothing to sell on your behalf, because the company I work with, they do all that. All I do is just try to post interesting things, which I'm going to do anyway. I don't care if there is no such thing as business. If I was Adam and Eve and I was naked eating apples, looking at Eve going, God, you got apples in your chest? What are these? If I was like naked in the field, but then I discovered a laptop and they had this thing called Facebook, I'd be going, Eve, Jesus, get your leaf, bring some apples and get over here. Look at this. I can post videos that I can share off YouTube. I can post a picture of me naked with a leaf over myself. And what's that, an apple? Yeah, bring the apples over here. Don't eat the apple. No, bring it. We're going to, you could eat the apple and post it. I mean, my God, I love posting and being just a bumhole on Facebook, just alone. So if you love this type of entertainment, and I think social media is entertaining as hell, but it's also therapeutic, it's fun, and it's a scrapbook, because I really rely on it as a scrapbook, because I put a lot of pictures and video that I hope to gosh that Facebook will be around a long time. I do definitely back up all the pictures and put them on a memory stick, these little, you guys know what I mean, but I do recommend it. Don't, Facebook and all those Instagrams and everything else, sure, they might be around forever, but who knows what. But obviously, if you have videos and pictures, try to save them as much as you can, and that's definitely what I do. But I look at Facebook like a live scrapbook. What did I do today? How did I feel? Was there a cool car? Did I do something that might be interesting where I can just film walking in a park? I do that anyway. But if I can make a couple bucks, hell, why not? YouTube paid me today. I forgot that they even paid me today. I just got a notification in my email. I mean, how cool is that? That you how I found out really wasn't even the email. I just balanced my checkbook and I noticed there was more money in it. And I'm like, God, did I screw up, or did I charge back, or what the heck? Is there a fluke or something? Because sometimes you notice your checking account like has $100 more in it because that $100 of groceries, it went through, and then it didn't go through for a couple days for some reason because it's a Friday. But then on Monday, like Walmart will go ahead and charge you. So that's what I thought. I just thought, God, maybe I messed up again or something. And then I went Google AdSense. I'm like, oh, duh. God, I got paid by YouTube. How cool is that? And you can do it on all forms of social media. And if you got something to sell, which is digital products, which is just information. The company I work with, all they do is just sell information. That's it. Nothing more fancy. They buy something. It's up to them. I don't care what they buy. I just want half. If they spend $1,000, I want 500. If I'm qualified for the $5,000 level, I want half. I want 2,500. Why? Because even Steven, if I'm going to bust my ass and wear a diaper and cluck like a chicken to make people interested in maybe my social media platforms, boy, if I can get paid for doing that, it makes me want to do it even more. And like I said, I'll cluck like a chicken in a diaper anyway, just for fun. So monetizing what you do, boy, isn't that nice? Most people don't realize that you can get paid for doing a lot of stuff. And if you can find a hobby, or, and they always say this, I wish they taught this more. I'm from the 60s. The 70s was fun. 80s was more or less my grade school into high school. But, social media and texting and all these badass things called cell phones, boy, these things weren't around. And you talk about a guy that would have cut class, probably took pictures of hot babes and just had a great time and didn't even know how to spell. I probably wouldn't even know the alphabet if these things were around by my 5th grade. So if people are getting dumber, I can probably see why, and it's the addiction to these darn cell phones. So if you're going to sell something, or if you need eyeballs to look at something, why don't you step in front of something that's already being eyeballed? Okay. If you want to get wet, you could probably jump in a river. There's a good chance that there's water coming down. All right. If you want to feel the wind rip your head off, well, go on the runway of an airport. I'm sure a 747 going 180, 90 miles an hour to lift off alone is enough to make your hair go, wow, that's some wind. So stepping in front of something that's already happening, that's what I recommend. Because trying to come up with a product and go, God, I think there's a market for it. I think I have $100,000 and half of it is for advertising. The other half is to build my sandwich shop. But I think that I have something that might be interesting because I like sandwiches. But, wonder if down the street there's a Subway and a Firehouse and all these other ones, and they already are proven to be a really good product. People love it. And for some reason, some people just go to Subway, even though those aren't really, in my opinion, the best Subway sandwich. They're okay, but they're not the best by any means. But you can definitely go blow $100,000 on your own Subway, your own version, Corey's sandwiches, let's say, and go ahead and get the best lettuce, bigger buns, more meat. You can do everything that you always wanted to do if you could do your own thing, whatever that is. Grand opening. You go to YouTube, maybe you go to Instagram, maybe you go to City Weekly Flyers, you go to the newspaper in your city, maybe radio even. And you talk about radio, I've been in and out of radio 33 years. I'm an expert at it. And I can tell you what, I'd give you guys $100 right now if you could tell me the last 4 radio commercials that you just heard. And you'd be like, God, was it, I think it was jewelry, RC Willey or Best Buy, or God, was it Walmart? I mean, when commercials play at FM radio, you don't even care. There's so many commercials on FM radio now because they're broke. Sirius XM's killed them, Spotify, Pandora. FM's still around, but you don't comprehend. You hear, but you don't really comprehend. I'm convinced that if someone's driving down the road and they're listening to the radio, hey guys, come on down to Walmart. Everybody through the door, the next 2 hours gets a $1,000 gift certificate to get whatever they want in this store. $1,000, but you got to come noon to 2. I'd say 75% of the people listening to radio, they wouldn't even comprehend it. They heard it, but at the intersection, I know what people do. They're not supposed to text, but they do. I've done it. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, oh, God, I don't look at my phone when I'm at an intersection. Or, they're so addicting. I know when you're driving, it's, God darn it, what do you got to do? You got to look down like, oh, my God, I wonder if Bob texted me or what's going on Facebook while I'm driving down the freeway. So these things are so darn addicting. People are looking at this regardless of what you do the rest of your life. If I die tomorrow, I know that if these are around another 500 years, people's faces are going to be buried. So my point is, if you're going to do something, step in front of what people are doing anyway, and it might even be fun, which is social media and just the internet in general. So at my age, I don't want to go to college again. I don't want to start over. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not me. If I was even 25 years old, nope, don't want to do it. I watched a show on Netflix called Fastest Cars today. It's like episode 5 or something, but there's a kid named Parker. And you know what he did? He was a 20-year-old. And this is a guy that owns about 5 or 6 exotic cars that are probably $5 million. This kid's 24 years old. And guess what he did? He loved exotic cars like Bugatti, Ferrari, Maserati. Oh my God, the guy just loved cars. So he got one of these things. They're called a cell phone. And he just started doing selfies. God, man, I'll tell you what. This new Ferrari is awesome. It's a new 458 Especial. God, the top comes off, and oh my gosh, it has a 7-speed. And he was just so into cars. All of a sudden, he started getting a following because he was kind of a fun, nerdy, lovable guy. And if you see him, if you got Netflix, go to Fastest Cars, look up Parker, because the guy makes millions a year doing what I'm doing right now. Here's my impression of Parker. I'm going to even use a car. Hey, this is Corey. God, check it out, man. Here's a 1968 Mustang. That's right. It's dark forest green. It's a 4-speeder with a 390. And if you guys were around in the 60s, everybody, this is the world famous Steve McQueen car in the movie Bullet. Check it out. It's green. It's awesome. Look, it's fully restored. It's going to be for sale in the next couple months. And it's probably going to be a couple $1 million, but check it out. Okay, coming up next, we're going to film the interior and talk to the guy, how he got it and how he owns it. And he ended his cell phone. The next one, selfie mode. Hey, what's your name? Hey, Bob, how are you? How did you get possession of this car? Well, the movie company beat it up. It just sat in the back of Universal Studios for 20 years. I offered to give him 25 grand. I bought it. I did a full resto on how it was in the movie. And right now it's going to go to Barrett Jackson. Yeah, it's just ingenious. He did something that he was loving. And you know what? On that Fastest Car episode, I think he had a brand new 458 Especial, which is a Ferrari. They're they're valuable now. They're about 700,000 now. This kid is so young looking. He looks like he's 18 and he's got 5 of them. I mean, all these other supercars. My point is like, man, the guy just had passion. He loved cars as much as I do. Man, look at my whole back of my shelves. Look at that. I got all the American graffiti cars. I mean, I love cars. And boy, I'll tell you, I'm jealous of Parker. He followed through on something that he loved and he was able to monetize it. That's kind of what I do. I post about stuff that I just love. It makes me feel better. It makes me happy. If you guys laugh or write me and say that was funny or that was crazy or hey, that was helpful, not only do I personally feel pretty cool about that, and I have more friends that are in common with Lego building, Hot Wheels, or maybe, maybe they do like the movie Bullet, because that really is a recreation of the famous 68 Mustang GT that Steve McQueen, drove in the late 60s. If you guys love that movie, God dang it, man, I could talk for an hour about that movie. But what's cool about it is the algorithm and all my social media, it starts getting motion. I have friends that are writing me and I'm liking them back, and I've got it. It's social, meaning social media is not just be in your room by yourself, watching your screen and getting really bummed out that life is absolutely passing you by. And admit it, because I'm the same. I'm not going to bullshit you. I have friends that I thought had a life that was more just getting home and maybe watching TV on the weekend, maybe look forward to a movie, and then 9 to 5 repeat. Social media comes out. Oh my gosh, I had no idea they had hobbies. They had four-wheelers. They had enough money to go RVing. I thought they were more lonely types. Oh my God, they have 7 friends and family. They go hunting, fishing, hiking. They go to Disneyland. I just thought I had their lives all figured out just by how my interaction was before all this internet and social media came out. But I was so happy when I found that some of my friends that I thought maybe they're more lonely or more isolated, I was shocked at how much fun they were having when they just did their 9 to 5 and got the hell out of the radio station or my nightclubs or my trucking business. I'm like, God. And then I'm pissed off. I'm like, that son bitch has a brand new, they have a brand new version of this. If you go down and buy a 2020, you can go to a Ford dealership. They have the Bullet Edition in 2020. This movie came out in about 68. But how pissed off would you be? You're like, oh, here I am with my model and I'm loving the movie. And then I find out my friend I'm working with, who I thought was kind of lonely and just kind of like isolated. Hell, I find out that he and his wife have a 2020 Bullet, and what they do is they go racing it at this racetrack in Tooele on the weekends. Then when they get back to work, they're like, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, nothing. I mean, it was cool. I watched the new Netflix movie, but they forgot to tell me that they have a new 2020 Bullet, and they went racing and partying. Then afterwards, they went and had the best chicken barbecue dinner while the sun set. Now I'm pissed off. I'm ending this video. I'm out of here. So social media, it's awesome. Embrace it. Don't get depressed by it. If you're depressed by it, it just probably means you're in a rut. And if you can make some extra money, I think that you could afford to do more things that are social. But I think what you really need to do is just meet more people too. Don't be shy. Don't be closed off where you're scared to meet 5 new people, because there's a lot of people that just like to talk on a camera like I'm doing, like Facebook, what's it called, WhatsApp, or when you look at your phone, is that text face to face or whatever? I mean, there's some people that they don't really talk to people in person. They just kind of like text and do their video chats or stuff like that. And that's cool. You can do this business like that. What I look for, if somebody wants to kind of like, join me, I'm not looking, this isn't MLM. I don't need you underneath me so you can get 100 people underneath you and all that other crap. I don't care if I make a dime off you watching right now. If you're just kind enough to watch me live just on my Facebook feeds, that's awesome. That means somehow you're my friend, even though we haven't met. That's good enough for me. But if somebody wants to do business and make money online, they got to take action. They got to at least go to CoreyDraper.com, FreedomBabyYad.com. I've got all these websites that lead to just a capture page. Put your name and address in it. I mean, your name and email address. You can put your cell phone too if you want to text. You watch a video just to go 1 mile an hour. If you want to go 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, ludicrous speed with nitrous, like that show Fast Cars, that is awesome. That's where I come in, because then I know that you probably want to get out of your shell. You want to have fun. If I go to Vegas, we can all meet there and go to the pool and watch a badass show. If we go on a motorcycle event, you guys want to come. If you want to come to Salt Lake during the Sundance Film Festival, I'm connected beyond belief up there. We can go up there and hang out and do some fun shit. But if people want to, be a part of the social media experience where you can make money too, then, that's kind of who I like to hang with, because I know they probably want to get out of their shell if they're in one, or they want to learn how to just talk like this to their camera. I can talk all night because I really feel like people are on the other side listening to me on a couch with their coffee, just going, no, tell me about what's that movie? Bullet? Steve McQueen. Yeah, he died when he was only 50 years old. He was supposed to go to the Manson famous killing with Sharon Tate with Helter Skelter. Steve was invited to that party and he decided not to go because he had a date with a pretty girl. I mean, I can go on and on about random, useless bullshit because I love it. Give me a National Enquirer. I love those magazines. I love TMZ. What is it, 30-mile zone? That's what TMZ means, because in a 30-mile zone is every movie studio in LA. Most people don't know what TMZ is. I do. I'm full of shit and I love gossip, I guess. But everyone's like, God, do you have a life? How would you know that? I'm like, because I live life, mother effer. Don't ever say I'm bored. Don't ever say, oh, get a life, or man, I can't believe you sit and talk to a camera by drinking a California cup with a Woody from the Beach Boys. I'm like, you're damn right I do. I tell people, how many people did you meet today? How many checks did you get from YouTube today? Do you have a model? Can you even afford this model? Because some people can't. These models can be as high as $100 and something bucks. Man, that's a lot for a stupid car. No, I'm not even going to tell you how much money I got invested just in these toys above me. But I don't do it because, oh man, look at how dumb I am. I just love these models. If they were free, or if I was lucky enough to pay a lot of money for them, I just enjoy what these models bring me. And thank goodness I have enough extra money where I can just buy these random things just for the decor of my back wall here. I'm not going to lie, this wall is like 1/1,000th of what the rest of my studio looks like. It looks like Toys R Us exploded. But if you have just a little bit of extra money, isn't it cool if you can pay your cell phone, or maybe just go to an extra this or an extra that? I think that everybody wants to make extra money. You won't ever catch me doing long videos about, get passion, take action. You will if you believe in something. All right. If someone lights your ass on fire, you're going to jump and go, holy shit, my ass is on fire. You're going to take action. If you believe that you can do something, you're going to take action. Everyone tried to play volleyball, tetherball. God, tennis is a bitch. But you know what? Someone got the racket. They hit the tennis ball exactly the opposite way, like Happy Gilmore. And then all of a sudden they could hit it on the other side of the net. Thank goodness for those Serenas and those Sampras's and all those other badasses out there the last 50 years. But if you believe in something, you don't need a guy like me to say, take action. You've got to live life. You got to live your best life. I mean, God dang, how many phrases do I have to read every day just on Instagram? Live to ride, ride to live your best life. I'm leading the lap style life. I'm so full of shit, I can literally come up with my own sayings right now. I don't need motivation, because if I believe into something, I want to take action because it's just so compelling and interesting, and I think I can do it. And then all of a sudden you're so certain that you can do it, even though you haven't even started doing it. And right now, no one you've got to get a cell phone. You have to download the app to Facebook. You have to get a username and password, or bam. Man, this crap is confusing. But then all of a sudden you just know how to do it. How many people can right now just go to Facebook app and just go, hey, blah, 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 text, boom. I mean, my God, anything. If you really are interested in it, you probably can do it. Even the brain surgeons out there started out as a guy named Billy in kindergarten. 3rd grade, he was probably getting beat up because he had weird glasses. All of a sudden, by 10th, 11th grade, teachers are like going, damn, this guy's smarter than me. Then all of a sudden, by 18, 19, 20, this guy spends 10 effing years after maybe being made fun of because he was more of a studious type than that jock trying to get the cheerleaders and throw the football. But how many movies have you seen where the class nerd is the guy that invented the internet or maybe the polio vaccine? But that is mind-blowing. Isn't it awesome that somebody as innocent as a third grader that had glasses that were so thick his eyes were this big? Wow, how cool is that? That he followed through. And look at all the shit we have in America. And if you guys are in China's, Asia's, England, nobody put a gun to the guy that said, you've got to design the Eiffel Tower. And you know what? You in Japan who have badass art. I'm a big fan of Japanese everything. I love that. That movie, Memoirs of a Geisha, visually, that's like one of the best looking movies visually I've ever seen. But isn't it awesome knowing that just a simple girl or guy can go ahead and just do amazing things? And you can too. And I know I can. And even though I'm saying all these positive things right now, tomorrow I might be bummed out. Something might happen. And I derail my thought process because I'm a realist. I can tell you to use positive this and do that, and this might get you here to get this that equals that. There's a lot of common sense out there, and that's the road I like. And boy, I could go on for hours about depression. If you're suicidal, if you're stuck in a rut, man, I get it. But if extra money can maybe get you out of that rut or depression where you're living more life, where your friends are looking at you going, God, he or she, man, they were kind of bummed out. And I can tell they were a little depressed, but, you know, not suicidal, but they just wanted to get home and just lay on the couch and just kind of watch Netflix, make a really cool dinner, and they can just kind of be by themselves a little bit, because being by yourself, it's just relaxing. And if you're depressed, it's, you know, sometimes misery loves company. But I know if I'm depressed, I actually don't want anyone to see me depressed. I would rather be more uplifting and hopefully fun. Only a few of my friends know what a butthole I really am. And they've known me for a long time. They're like, damn, that guy's irritating as shit. Don't listen to his bullshit. But you know, everyone's different when it comes to getting in their rut, and can they jerk the steering wheel to get out of that rut. But if you think like being a little more social and having a better experience online, and if you can make money doing it, to me, it's not a win-win. It's like a win-win, win-win-win, because it's relatively affordable what I do. All of the testing, all of the video, all of the posts, all that stuff don't cost me zip because I do it anyway. But what I try to do is to be hopefully likable and interesting, where that if people are kind enough to join my Facebook or my Instagram or my Twitter accounts, I only like personally Facebook and YouTube. But if I'm interesting enough or maybe nice enough, or someone knew me in the past, if they can join and just be a part of me and having fun and seeing what's going on and laughing, maybe if I put a video up or if there's something great, that alone gets me out of any rut that I think would be coming up. You know, I can see the rut coming, so I just turn the steering wheel 2 inches, and man, I'm in the fast lane hauling ass. So I can get myself out of a rut relatively fast because I feel I can see it coming at this point in my life. And I've had the last year has been horrific for me. You know, my son passed away. I'll just be honest. And that's not fun. That's not crazy. That's like, it's so life-changing. You want a 10-hour video about that? Boy, I'll tell you. But, you know, I'm able to control my thought process and hopefully analyze to be as real as possible about how your mind is. You're always going to hear your mind and brain is pretty much the most powerful computer ever, ever, ever made. And there's zero owner's manual on how to run this stupid thing. Then you get older and you hear Tony Robbins says this, and man, Art Linkletter says that, and Ron John Baum, and you know, I mean, you just hear all these crazy names, and you know, Deepak Chopra. Oh, let me tell you, you do this, and your mind will do that, and oh, look at you can do that. I mean, there's a lot of great things out there, a lot of bad bullshit out there, but when I talk about what I do, I like to bring out more of the real things not the money part. I just don't talk about all the money. It's there. I have friends that make 500 bucks a day. I have a great lady I talk about all the time. She's the one that got my eyeballs interested in this. I spent a couple months just looking at it. I joined, but I didn't take any action because I didn't want to get all excited and do all this crazy shit just to know that the company's going here or it's a fad, or do I have to have a downline? I hate MLM. People that know me, I grew up with the most successful MLM almost in America. All right. I grew up with them when they didn't even, it didn't even found it, create it, whatever. They do 5 billion effing dollars a year, but I'm not an MLM guy. And I still am not. I'm not a shampoo, conditioner, vitamin guy. Believe it or not, I do try to shower once a month. I do, I think, take vitamins. You guys know what I mean? I'm not going to go, hey, do Amway, do Avon, do Home Interiors. Those are all excellent MLMs, by the way. And a lot of people make a lot of money. Is it for me? It's just not. I would rather make fart videos and listen to Van Halen. Call me shallow, but I'm not going to like try to pretend and fake it to make it that I'm excited to do something I hate. And then I'm going to come online and go, boy, you should do what I hate, because I just don't know why. But do you want to join me? Because I hate what I do. So I wish all the buttholes that I've listened to my whole life about self-help and join me and we're going to do this. But all you got to do is, get one friend that gets one friend, and those one friend, I've already bought that shirt, man. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. If I introduce someone to do something with me and it doesn't work, I feel like shit because I might have hyped it more, or maybe I had that shiny ball that I bought from the company, and they go, man, just show your shiny balls. I've heard that before. And shiny balls, look at my head, how shiny it is. And that's Armor All. I put Armor All on my head before I get on video. But there's so many shiny balls out there, and people buy them. You pay 50 bucks, 1,000 bucks, 5 billion bucks. And you know what? You're excited for a month, and then all of a sudden you've got a shiny ball as big as my fat, shiny head. And you can't do nothing with it. You bought it, then you got to lie to your friends and say, man, it was awesome. But, other things came up. And I just, I just don't have time to do it because of this and that. I'm not going to get into that. MLM's not for me. If it's for you, I'm glad for you, and you can make money in MLM. But what I do as an MLM, this is basically selling education, and I don't do the selling. I just simply try to be interesting with real people following me. And with that alone, I've got people that will ask me what I do. The algorithms on Facebook and Instagram will be happening. And then I've got a YouTube channel that I do stuff with. So if I record a video just like this, I upload it to my Facebook, and there's always someone that's going to watch it. Basically for free, the way I look at it. Sure, you needed a computer and you needed some certain things to buy your phone or to upload. But, by the end of the day, I think in our minds, it's like, well, if we, make 10 minutes of something and we upload it to YouTube, isn't it cool that why it's there, as long as it doesn't violate policies or terms of service, it's just going to sit there. And if 5 people look at it, one of my videos has 2.9 million. Just that video alone, I can almost live on. And I made that video years ago. But what happens is they might go viral, or you just consistently are interesting on YouTube, where you're just bearing your soul about your thoughts. You don't have to have a product, or you don't have to look good and say, you know what? Come down to this university and I'm going to show you for $50,000. I'll make you look younger. The lighting will be perfectly. We will script this for 2 days straight. And then we're going to go ahead and upload it to the YouTube channels and all this social media stuff. Now that's $50,000, Corey. So, and you got to pay in advance. And when you get this perfect video, you can have a copy of it on a VHS or a DVD, or we can send it to you MP4, whatever they're called nowadays. But it means you get absolutely 0.0 guarantee that anything monetary or financially is going to come your way. Just like going to college, I'd say 90% of my friends that went to college didn't make a dime from any of their college courses. 90%, and I'm being generous there, I almost say 100. But my point to that is, if you can, number one, get out of your shell and not be kind of bummed out, that is the first step. If you're already in a good mood and you're just looking for extra money, awesome. If you love Facebook and social media, I think girls love Instagram more than guys. Then Snapchat is mostly for kids, it seems like, or maybe Twitter's more politics. But I love Facebook. That's what I do. And then I link it all to my social media accounts. And you guys will see a million live classes that I'm doing right now. I call them shindigs. Like I said, this isn't a training. This isn't a course. These are shindigs. This is me just putting on my webcam, me sitting here in my underwear and my coffee, just chatting. How you guys doing, by the way, on planet Earth? Pretty cool, huh? But if you need a social life, and I hope that you guys do want more people in your life that you really do like and you have maybe interests with, and if you guys meet face to face, great. I see nothing wrong with having a very digital, flat screen life. Like, I have so many friends right now that check in on me, or I check in on them all over the planet. It's so fun for me. And I can't tell you how pleasing that is. So I love if I can do business where even if it don't make a dime, you still have value coming in, like having a better social life and getting you out of your shell. And if you're going to be on Facebook and Instagram and all these social medias anyway, don't let it get you all depressed, because if you don't have enough money, that's why your depression's setting in, because you're seeing a lot of people do some cool shit because they can afford $1,000, $5,000, $3,000. They're lucky enough to maybe afford a $40,000 RV and a $10,000 boat, and they have an extra $4,000 to take their RV and boat to Lake Powell, where I live, and have a great, let's say, week vacation. And you watch that and you're like, how do they do that? Like, how did they get a down payment? Or did they have good credit? Or did they, get a home and the equity went up and they took an equity loan, or, but when people make money, you're either paid for your time, 9 to 5. Let's say you work 10 hours a day and you make $10. 10 times 10, what is that? 590. So, but you know what I mean? Pretty much if you're going to work by the hour, how much you're going to make, and then divide that 30 days, how much your bills are, and most people kind of in their mind, they think, well, I make about $100 a day. My expenses are about $3,000 a month with my house and my insurance and my kids, So it's very easy to kind of limit your mind and go, God, I can't work more. I only make $20 an hour. I only make $25 an hour, which is a decent paycheck. But still, by the time when you pay taxes on that, you're not going to go buy a whole hell of a lot of stuff every year, maybe one thing. And if you put a down payment on it, your costs each month are going to be probably, if you buy an RV, it could be as high as $400 a month. I know everyone's car payment's always like $300 or $400 a month. Cell phones are like $100 a month. I think a common mortgage or rent each month, I think most people have about a $1,500 to $2,000 apartment. And I know there's apartments out there for $1,000, but if you have kids and all that stuff, apartments are easily $1,500 in a normal city like Salt Lake. Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Florida, you ain't making $2,000 a month for a crappy little apartment this big. But boy, I'll tell you, Salt Lake is very affordable. But I would say $3,000 a month. It's very common to make that. But you know what? Your bills are $3,000 a month. So in your mind, you're like, I bust my ass. I make $4,000 a month, but I only take home $3,000. But my bills are $3,000. How do people get an RV? How do they get the boat? Okay, if they're married with two incomes, I get it. Okay, your wife makes $3,000, so all of a sudden you have $6,000 a month coming in. But most people, I think, when they make more money, you find a way. Isn't it weird how all of a sudden, when you were single, you needed about $2,400 a month to break even. When you got a girlfriend, you needed another $500 a month because you wanted to kind of take her out and do some cool stuff. And I'm speaking on a guy's behalf here. let's say she loves you. She's crazy enough to marry your dumb butt. And all of a sudden you're starting to, get a house and all these other things. So all of a sudden your bills are like, dang, how'd they get $3,100 a month? Then you have a couple kids and you have to make $3,700 a month. And then all of a sudden you get that keeping up with the Jones syndrome because your neighbor across the street, that butthole, bought an RV. Now you're pissed off and you're like, well, you know what? I got to get something else. Wave runners, this, that, a hot tub. I've got to do something. So I'm sick and tired of those guys across the street always being able to obtain an extra boat. Then next year, they got a hot tub and they redid their whole house. They invited you over and they're like, you know what? I got a deal on carpeting. So we redid the whole house. God, how much was that? Oh, it was only $4,700. You're like, how did you make $4,700? I mean, when you think that way, it's so easy to think inside the box, outside the box, and you're thinking completely about everyone else's box. It drives you batshit crazy. If people make more money, it just means that their product or their service is more valuable. Because if you work at McDonald's, let's say minimum wage is 10 to 15 bucks. That's all that really pays. Because by the time McDonald's has all of their costs and all that other stuff, a reasonable wage is $10 to $15 an hour, depending where you live. I know it pays more in bigger cities and stuff. Just like a mailman, a post office worker, there's always people that can get a job just being a cashier at a Walmart. You might be lucky enough to have a commission job, which is stressful sometimes because sometimes you don't even make any money for the month. Then the next month you sell 3 homes. And you're like, God dang it. You tell your wife and kids, don't go crazy. I sold 3 homes this month because we're going into a holiday. We're going into Christmas. People don't want to move on Christmas with snow and all that stuff. But you know what? Christmas comes around. And you should save that $4,000, but what happens? You feel guilty. Oh God, I got to buy everybody Christmas presents and people that I don't even like because they bought me a present. Now we, tit for tat. Before you know it, you had $4,000 saved, but Christmas cost you $5,000. So all of a sudden after Christmas, you're like, oh God, I'm so sick of Christmas. And now I'm 1,000 in the hole because I lost all my savings because I had to keep up with the Joneses. And now we got to make more money because my damn credit card. Hell, I borrowed $1,000 on that stupid thing. And most people have bad credit. Don't think that you're the only one with bad credit. I got horrific credit. I got into real estate, which is normally like, oh, real estate. Well, that's a good idea. Get into land and commercial development. And, I hate real estate. I hate it. I'll never do it. And I know that people right now go, you know what? I've got a lot of equity in my home. I've done this. I've had success. In my case, I've had bad experiences in real estate. And at my age, I'm not going to reinvent myself and take vitamins and pretend that I'm 20 and I'm going to live another 50 years. Hell, I'm lucky, man, if I get another 25 because I'm 53 almost. So it's easy to get in a rut and get yourself bummed out. And when you live in the box, out the box, and you look at everyone else's sandbox, you go, damn it, how the hell am I going to make any more money? I can't work more hours. I'm already getting tireder. I've maxed out the salary of $20 an hour, $25 an hour. And I know a lot of people make way more than that. I'm just trying to make a really basic assumption of this. Some people make no money at all. I mean, it's just so common. Just lucky enough your husband or your wife makes money and you just try to get a job because, God, there's just a lot of places that just don't have any jobs available. So if you're kind of bummed out because of finances, and if you can make just a little bit more money each month, I think that'll just, it's like you just won Powerball or you had some type of cancer and all of a sudden it's just disappeared. It's like, oh my God, if I can even make $500 a month more, I can now go, Jesus Christ, I can at least break even on my bills. Or if I get laid off, I can at least afford to take a month or two to maybe find another job, hopefully in the city I live in. Because a lot of my friends, I've been in radio for a long time off and on. When you get laid off in radio or fired or just something happens, the station switches format, you've got to move to a whole city. Some of my most successful friends in radio, they've had great radio careers in 19 cities. So, man, what do you think their home life is like if they're married? Stressed? Most of my friends in radio, all divorced. And that's male and female because I got a lot of female friends. man, that's a tough biz. And radio is great. It's very satisfying if you're creative and you just love music and the entertainment business. But I think when it comes to getting mentally out of a rut, getting depression out of your life, or if you just need some extra money, what I do, I think, can kind of hit every one of those, if not center, boom, just throw it at the dartboard. But all of those, if what I've been talking about is kind of you in a way, I think the business, what I do, kind of meets a lot of that. You have a headache? I think I have an aspirin. There's Excedrin PM. I love Flintstone vitamin. I'll eat those Flintstone aspirin just because I love the taste of those orange ones. But no matter what, you are where you are, and all of our beds are made differently. And if someone's watching me right now that's in a rut, I kind of like that because I think I can make you turn the steering wheel a little bit to get out of that. If you're kind of in your mind, think you've maxed out on how much money you'll probably make even the rest of your life, because I've done that 1,000 times. I mean, when you get older, you totally go, man, the workforce is about everyone that's out of college up to about 45 to 50. But when you go into get a job and you're born in 1966, guess what that employer thinks, even though they can't legally or morally say, God, I wonder if his eyes are going out. Is he hooked on Oxycontin because his back hurts? What's his education? Is he one of those guys that's from the 70s and 80s and thinks he knows it all? And now that it's a computer generation, we can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm just being real, because if I owned a business and I hired someone my age, I'd have to step back and go, God, he's probably been a father, a grandfather. He's kind of in his own ways to a certain extent. Can he have a boss that's 30 and he's 53? Because that's sometimes it bugs the F out of you. I'm just being real. I'm not going to be one of those paid guys that like pretends it doesn't. But I'll tell you what, when you're taking orders from a 27-year-old who's good at what he does, and you're going home as a 53-year-old going, I could not believe it. That son bitch is younger than my kids. And then you come up with like what a butthole he is. But you know, deep down, he's like, God, that kid's pretty damn good at what he does. But I'm still going to go home and I'm going to go, that little son of a bitch. I'll tell you, I'd slap his ass and ground him if I could. But anyway, there's so many reasons why you can get in a rut emotionally, financially. It's all in your head. It can be changed, but you got to want to be able to at least try. And if you try and fail and it doesn't cost you a lot of money, good. Because I'm not saying, hey, let's go to a retreat. Let's spend 10 grand. And at the end of that week, we're going to be in a sweat lodge. We're going to have massages. We're all going to go like Scientologists and some of those, not saying they're a cult, because I got friends that have done Scientology. But this isn't MLM. This isn't like do something for a week and when you get home, it's going to change your life. This is more of a lifestyle to where if you try doing something and it makes you feel good and you make more friends, and if you make $1, if you make $500, if you can start making even more money. And the reason why you make more money is because, number one, you're probably getting more friends. You're feeling a little more social. You feel better about yourself. And if you start making $1 and $5 and $50 and $100, and all of a sudden you're making enough money to where you can just sit at home and comfortably just better yourself, feel better, do whatever it takes at your pace. But then all of a sudden you're breaking even on your bills, cell phone, mortgage, whatever. Everyone's bills are different. But man, how would that make you feel? I think that feels effing awesome. And I'm a realist. I'm not saying, oh man, I'll tell you what, you're going to make $5, $10, $20,000. You're going to be on the beach, living the laptop lifestyle. Just take action and do this. Whatever. There's plenty of people making millions. Tony Robbins is what, worth 400 or 500 million? Good for Tony. Met the guy a couple times. His courses, I think, are fun to listen to. I think they're very interesting. And I think they are very helpful. Can I do what Tony Robbins does? I don't think I can. I think I can be someone's friend and just tell them what has either helped me or made me completely lose money on investments, real estate, what I've done to be a dick how I've lost friends over doing stupid stuff, or maybe, how to do this or that. But I don't know. At my age now, I just believe baby steps, that's affordable, little successes. Because I know that if you have little baby successes, I don't need to say take action. I don't need to make you feel guilty, kind of in a submissive, yet, people are like, don't you dare make your bed. Don't you dare make your bed. Because if you make your bed, that's going to piss me off. Then all of a sudden your son or daughters, they're in first grade making their bed because they want to make dad pissed, bait and switch. I don't do that shit. I do love to motivate if I can. I'm definitely not a motivational speaker, but I've learned a lot over 53 years almost. And I know what I don't want. Everyone knows what they want. Honestly, if you don't know what you want right now, I'm going to slap you. You want a car? Damn right you want a car. Do you want better carpet? Hell yeah. Do you want a hot tub? Why not? If you want better chicken, like let's say you like chunks of chicken, just big, juicy chunks of chicken every day with your favorite fruit and vegetables, which is kind of high. I love avocados. Those son of a bitches are $1 to $2 a piece right now because I live in Utah and they jack up the price because there's evidently a shortage of avocados. And I'm sure Mexico's going, no, we got about 5 billion avocados. But, in America, boy, when it gets wintertime in the states that are winter, where I live, the other day I was at Fresh Market. I love avocados on everything. Juicy ham and cheese omelets with avocado. Make a turkey club sandwich with tomatoes, lettuce, all that bullshit with avocados. I go to the store and go, God, I got to win Powerball because some asshole said that, well, they're getting kind of rare. Got to spend $2 now on avocados. God dang, man, that's just real life. It comes down to, can you afford that? And it's weird how like $2, and it pisses me off. I'm being honest. I get pissed off that they can get $2 an avocado because I know if you shop around or go to like a Walmart, they might not be the freshest avocados, but still, when you go to a health food store, my point is if you want, and I love healthy food, but I know for a fact I got to spend probably at least $100 a week to get better food at like Whole Foods. And everyone that's watching right now, don't you all have like food stores that are specialty, like a Whole Foods in America here? It's kind of, it's a nicer store with more fresher stuff and it has all this stuff. And you know what? The price of everything, it's like 50% more. A loaf of organic bread is like, $5 when it's probably should be $3. Orange juice, it's all sugar, but since it's considered organically simulated orange juice squeezed by Mother Nature herself, it's $6. And then the same thing at Walmart is $2.50, but you know what I mean. Why not get better watch or a nicer clothes or get better food? I just think right now, if you guys could have all the food, and I mean for free, and I don't mean sundaes, ice cream and stuff, but I think most people really enjoy healthy food, but it comes down to like, it's hard to make or I just can't afford it. But there's some really nice food out there that's really delicious. And I think everybody would eat more healthy food, but you got to make realistically probably $200 to $500 more a month, especially if you're feeding more than just you and the hubby or the wife or the kids or the dog, even dog food. I think healthy dog food. I used to drive semi trucks, and I remember I had dog food that was expensive as hell. It was like gourmet, I think it was called gourmet dog food. And I just asked, well, what is this and stuff? I've never heard of this. They're like, oh no, it's like fresh dog food, but like for real. It's not like canned for 10 years and a shelf life of this, but this is like really scientifically badass food for pets. And boy, that son bitch shit, man, it was twice as much as Purina and all that high mass produced dog food that we've all seen since the 60s. But man, isn't it nice if you have just a couple extra bucks just to afford badass food? Slam dunk, baby. Maybe you want a bigger phone, but damn it, it's $20 more a month if I finance it. Damn it, I can't afford it. I got to get the small one, but I'm older, my eyes. Get the big, this screen, I can't remember what it is, 6.5. These are the biggest phones you can get. And Samsung and iPhone, they're all the same shape. But anyway, I think you guys get my point. If you guys have little successes, you don't need a guru. You don't need someone to slap you on the back. It is fun to get that though, because I love when people motivate me. But I know damn well that when it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, and I've had a long day that I'm tired, but I just love talking about helping or doing something or get someone out of a rut. Because I don't feel like going, ah, God, I just want to go to bed. Not when I'm talking to someone, and if someone writes me after and says, God, you're kind of right on those points, and man, I was stuck and I did this to get out of my rut. And then all of a sudden I go, God, I never even thought of that. I wish I did 5 years ago or a year ago or something. But that's what I mean about the social aspect. Even if you don't make any money doing whatever I do, God, you get so many cool friends, man, on Facebooks and God, all the social media. So um, what I want to do is I'm going to probably end this video and I'm going to come right back in like 5 minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys, you know, because over in England, all my England live feeds and over in the Asian countries, it's later at night in the Asian countries. And then, oh, let's see, 7, 8, 9, you know, it's like 2 in the afternoon. Here in America, it's super early. Most people are like just barely getting up because it's 4 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. I'm in Utah. And I love it. I love that I can stay up this late and dink off and drink coffee at 4 in the morning. You know how dumb that is to most people going, why would you drink hazelnut coffee at 4 in the morning? It's because I can and I like it. And don't worry about me. I'm getting enough lines and tired looking face on my own. So anyway, I'm going to come back in 15 minutes. So if you're watching live and you're still up and you want to watch my feeds, just, you know, it'll pop up on Facebook and all my other avenues. You guys know where I'm at. And what I'm going to do is the trick to getting organic, you know, free, so to speak, traffic or eyeballs or more friends or more likes. You've just got to have stuff that is interesting, and you got to be like a Denny's restaurant. You just got to have more of a robust life, and it's easy to do. And I think all you guys that are watching me right now, you already know what Facebook is. So I don't even need to explain what I do or whatever. I'm just going to show you what I do. So I'll come back. I'm going to seal this video up. Okay. And then coming back, I'm just going to show you my screen on what I do. If I'm tired, I have nothing to talk about. Let's just say I ran out of my full of shitness. And I know I'm full of shit. I'm the first one to own it. But I love you guys, and I love to talk and radio, and I just love it. I always have. So let's just wrap this meeting up. I'm going to go ahead and save it real quick, and I'll be back. And then my next video feed is I'm just going to simply show you what I do. I won't even have to talk much, although I will. And let's just do that. So yeah, if you guys are going to bed or just whatever, or if you're going to watch my recording of this, or if I don't see you at all, but yeah, like I said, give me about 15 minutes and I'll be right back here with a live demonstration of what I do. Because right now it's early in the morning. It's 4 o'clock here, but it's 6 o'clock in New York. But I need to start posting some interesting stuff now, because most people by 6 in the morning are waking up and they check their email and Facebook and social media real quick before they shower and get their kids or their husbands or wives. They get to work or go to the gym or whatever. So I think it's always important too to make sure you have something that's kind of fun for everybody to keep your Facebook nice and hot, you know, with a good, robust lifestyle. So, okay, I'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, I'll be right back. Aloha if you're in Hawaii. I think is aloha, doesn't that mean hello and goodbye?